Thanks all. I'm speaking on behalf of most of the residents that are sitting in the gallery here tonight. And thank you, staff and councillors and chair, for your attention. This proposal is an expanded version of the concept plan for a cemetery on rocky land bounded by the Hume Highway, Douglas Park Drive and Mitchell Place. The land slopes such that all runoff runs into Mitchell Place and behind the residents who live on the other side of that road and into the Nepean River. Despite objection from councillors, the local planning panel approved the concept back in 2020. The developer has now greatly expanded the project to include some 70,000 burial plots plus a crematorium. Given councillors' previous objection, we presume and recommend councillors again support residents in opposing this much larger project. The project has now been submitted as state significant development. It's in the early stages at the moment. A scoping proposal is out, so there is time. So we're keen to use this time to our advantage. As most of you know, I've been involved in opposing a number of state significant development projects, mostly involving coal mining expansions and infrastructure due to the subsidence effects on surface, water, environment, private and public infrastructure, etc., including damage to the gorge that provides unsatisfactory and inappropriate access to the proposed cemetery. So it's just on the other side of the freeway from the gorge at Douglas Park. And also including some issues with the pit top that's being built in Menangle at the moment. For this project, access is just one of a number of significant issues. Anyway, I digress. State significant development projects are determined by the state, which is often a hidden process, bureaucrats ticking boxes in offices. To expose the process to scrutiny requires referral to the Independent Planning Commission, and this is where you councillors come in. The residents need council to object and be ready to object to the proposal when submissions are due. Council formally objecting automatically sends the project to the IPC. The other mechanism is for 50 or more residents to object. We think we've got the 50 under control, but obviously if we've got council and residents together, we'll be a formidable force. Sadly, some SSD projects in our LGA have progressed without comment from council. This is partly to do with the fact that there's only 28 days to submit. So the nature of the beast is, submissions are due. You've got to have a council meeting. Submissions got to be produced and all that. So it doesn't happen. We don't want that to happen in this case. So I want to make sure that as soon as submissions are due, council is already looking at this issue and ready to vote. We, meaning all those here tonight and many more, will be presenting to you most months from this point forward. That's the aim. Tonight is an introduction, just to make clear the major areas of concern. Big picture-wise, the state recognises there will be an increasing need for more burial plots in decades to come. Given the Varraville site that's going to open shortly, I think beginning of next year, that's got 130,000 plots. Predictions are that additional burial sites will be needed for Sydney Metro from 2056 and beyond. These new plots, all the research shows and numbers show, are needed in the north of the city, so north of Sydney, and to a lesser extent in the southern suburbs. No new plots are needed in Wallandilly. As you'd be aware, you've just approved a burial site just here in Picton, just across the road from where we are now. Not needed. Wollongong is also well served, and of course we have larger facilities just to the north of the Shire. I'm sure many of you have been to funerals at those facilities. To be clear, there's no need for extra burial or crematorium capacity in Wallandilly in the foreseeable future. I know you've got this document, so I'm going to run out of time here, I can tell. I'll just run through. There's the document that says major considerations for potential sites for a cemetery. Only one of those points clearly applies, and that is that a cemetery is permissible with consent in an RU2 zone. Every other point in that document is an issue. The site is next to a residential area. The site is obviously not accessible to visitors. There's drainage issues. It borders the Hume Highway, so there's noise issues. The site does have flooding problems. We were out there the other day and it was clear after the rain that there are issues there and they'll get worse once it's developed. There's the proposal is that they're going to rip basically it's a rock. The whole property is rock. So there's no way to sort of sell, to use this for high density residential or anything else. So the owner, thanks, I'll wind up. So the owner is proposing to rip 3 metres down, crunch up 3 metres down of rock to enable them to bury people. So clearly this is a poor site for a cemetery. And furthermore, as I've said, there's absolutely no need. So we look forward to councillor support and also support for Councillor Hannan's motion that she'll put to council next week. Thanks for your attention.
Yeah, thank you, Sam.